Okay guys, welcome to the third video of this series where I do a full paint restoration, correction, whatever you want to call it. But this third video is going to be the decontamination stage, where you lift all the embedded particles, contaminants, rail dust, anything really from the air, the roads, any other vehicles on the road, tar, whatever. All that crap gets embedded in the paint and does not come off with normal maintenance washes normally. So in order to correct the paint properly and make it have its most smooth and depthness as possible, I do two things really. The first thing is a iron remover. I actually just picked up, this is Iron X Snow Foam from CarPro, which the bottle has some Iron X on it, which kind of sucks because this stuff smells. Probably one of the worst smells I've ever smelled, by the way, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna foam cannon this thing. All you do normally is spray the bottle with the Iron X, the iron out, and let it sit. Do not let it sit in the sun. Thank God the sun is pretty much set, and there's another airplane above, so that's really great. All right, that airplane is hopefully far enough away by now. But anyways, I'm gonna foam the car with this Iron X or iron out, whatever you wanna call it. Removes the contaminants, and then I'm gonna clay it. Since I have X-Spell on the car, I'm not gonna clay the car that has the X-Spell on it, because contaminants don't stick into that like they stick into paint normally. But if they do, hopefully they'll get some of this out. This will get some of those out, and we'll go from there. I've never used this, I've seen it, but it makes the job much easier than using a bottle and letting it sit. And some people say to agitate it, but I've never needed to. It's done a good job, but if you see that it's doing a good job, it will have like little purple streaks. So let's get going. I'll quit yapping over here. So what happened is this, of course, this thing got bent. So I have to take the squirt out. Hoping this will save me time. Didn't put all that much in there, so we'll see how it works. Car is snow foamed. That is the equivalent of ironing out the paint, or applying iron out, whatever you want to call it. Someone freaked out because I kept calling it Iron X. It is called Iron X if you buy it from CarPro, bro. Honestly, there's no good enough spots that are going to come up on camera. If you do have any iron or anything in the paint that the clay bar won't get, it'll show up as like a little purple dot, and it'll have a little streak. So let me take you around real quick. Sorry I didn't take you around earlier, but this is just kind of the Iron X working. It doesn't look like much. The back is really what I'm focusing on, because it has the paint that can get the embedded contaminants in there. But if anything, it's just going to do a really deep clean on you know, the cracks, the crevices, the wrap itself, you know, the whole shebang, you know, the grill, every piece around there. Okay. And don't forget, ideally I don't really need to do this with the iron out, but I got this little detailing brush. It is paint safe, in case you're wondering. It's actually from CarPro. When I did a big order, I picked some up, and it's perfect for, you know, right here. Especially, we're doing a full detail here, guys, so no time is going to be wasted screwing around. We want to get every single piece, because when we put the coating on, we're not going to try to seal up any dirt, you know. So honestly, don't worry about scratching the paint right now, because I washed it extremely well, and that's the point of this. So, you know, get right there. I mean, this has got to be pretty much perfection. It has to be perfection. My standards are perfection here. especially on the edge of these. This is what I hate the most about a wrap, is you can see the edge here and dirt accumulates. So we're gonna get the dirt out as best as possible. And you don't really want the foam to sit on the car very long, but it's in the shade, so I think we'll be okay. Gonna hurry up here, not hurry too fast, but hurry in a normal way. I freaking hate these in here. I might rip them off. I don't have nails and I don't have keys in my hand, so I don't understand how it's gonna get scratched, but we'll see. Time to rinse. Alright guys, hope you're still with me. So we have the car entirely ironed out, and the next step is to clay it. Also vital in the decontamination stage. Before I knew much about detailing, I did know that claying was good. And claying is good, but I did not always do the iron out. Iron out helps a lot with anything clay doesn't get, and doing iron out before you clay helps for claying, because it already kind of does the job once over, and then clay gets anything else. Jeez, there's airplanes everywhere today. So I just have the roof in this, and then the rear. I'm just gonna probably show you a couple parts, a couple panels. And you want to make sure you get a small piece of clay here, kind of work it around. And all I'm doing, you can either use detail spray. Hold on. So you can either use detail spray. Well, don't have any detail spray on my cart here, it's inside, but you can use detail spray and a little bit of water. As you notice, I did not dry the car yet, because I'm going to be rinsing this down. So why would I dry the whole car if I'm going to be just cleaning it again? Ideally not in the sun. So this is actually very, very perfect for the next 20-30 minutes. I'll have perfect lighting because the sun is peeping through, but not too much. So instead of detail spray, I have this soapy car wash water. All I do is dip the clay in there and then go to town. So let me get you guys close. I also have this clay luber, whoops, by Chemical Guys. This stuff is all right. It even works. Put the bottle on. So all you do is, several pounds of pressure. Go back and forth. Either way works. I do believe you are slightly marring it, and that is why you clay before you polish. Yeah, it is a little bit contaminant here, but not terribly bad. Woo! People are going crazy. So, the spoiler here. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's catching on stuff. So this spoiler, that's something that I will notice, is the spoiler's definitely got more, and that must be, so here it is, there's that little black mark, that's from the car, that's from the edge. And just fold it over a little bit, and then finish up, make sure you got everywhere. Pretty much gonna stop here because that's where the wrap starts. I don't think claying this will really do anything. And it is a little easier with the spray bottle, so. Be as liberal as you want with the spray because it definitely needs lubrication. Yeah, so. This is definitely getting hung up. The back of the car is the worst, especially on the M3. The carbon and exhaust is constantly coming out there, so I don't know if you can hear that, but it sort of has like a sandpapery sound, like a small sandpapery sound, and then it goes away, and that's a really good thing. So this the spoiler definitely had contaminants. I could have picked a little bigger piece, but didn't really want to waste it since I'm just doing part of it. Definitely can do the lights here. Probably will do a little polishing on the lights. See what happens. Move you guys back in here. Alright. I'm getting a bigger piece of clay. I can't stand it. Actually, let me give you guys a close-up. So hopefully you can see that there's an outline of the license plate here, and I would love to demonstrate. See, I scrubbed this with a brush and with a wash pad. I would love to demonstrate the clay working, so hopefully embedded dirt will be removed. Yeah, there you go. And this is honestly a scratch. I can feel this, so that sucks. I don't know if it wasn't installed properly or that's a fault of just how it's set up. I don't remember that on my other car, but yeah, this area is honestly one of the worst on any car probably. Okay guys, next step is to simply dry the car. Normally I do use a drying agent like ammo hydrate or detail spray, but those have gloss enhancers in them and stuff, and I just don't see the point right now. I'm putting a coating on. Even if I do scratch a little bit while drying, it's not a huge deal. So all I'm gonna do is dry it simply. I'll probably just do a quick little time lapse, and I'm gonna put some music on, so don't forget to put your favorite tunes on when you're detailing. It really helps. I do have to turn them off when I turn the camera on because I don't want to get copyright infringement here, but yeah. So going really good pace, pretty good temperature outside. Krensla, look at this guy. Accord wagon slammed. Okay. Let's get to drying and see you in a second. Alrighty, so we are fully done decontaminating this car. Man, this back of this car is so smooth. The rest of it is just fine because of the wrap. The wrap definitely does not have the smooth finish that you get once you do a full clay and iron out. To be honest with you guys, I had a brief moment where I wanted to like rip off the entire X belt, just because once I did this, the depth, the clarity, the cleanness, honestly, even with no protection on, this Alpine White looks so amazing. And it's sad that I don't get to experience the full car. To my eyes, it's not the same. It loses a little bit of depth when you put a wrap on it, even if it's clear and glossy. But to most people, you can't really tell. So I am gonna keep it on, by the way, if you guys are wondering. All right, excuse me, I had to change the battery in the camera. So, we're gonna do a quick little inspection. That's gonna be the last step of the decontamination, where everything is off the car that can potentially be off the car before you polish. I do realize there's gonna be people that say you can't fully get any protection off, every piece of protection off the car, wax or sealant wise, unless you start polishing, and that is true to an extent, but there really wasn't a lot of protection on this car to begin with, although the back is not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. So let's take a walk around and I will give you some of my thoughts. Okay, so I'm gonna do my very best to show you some scratches, which is honestly what I saw in light. Let's see if I can get the right angle. This is, for me, it's extremely difficult. There we go. Look right next to the spoiler, because you know, stuff gets, more dirt gets accumulated, and then you use your wash mitt and kind of scrape it. I wonder how the spoiler, yeah, see, that's going to be extremely difficult. Yeah, maybe, yeah. If you can see, if you have the right eye, you'll be able to see that there's honestly love marks, wash marks, whatever you want to call them. Nothing too scary. Nothing beneath the clear coat from what I've seen. Trying my best here to focus the light. Usually it's like, look right where the light is. Not where the light's touching the car, but where the flashlight reflection is. See some scratches there. So that's kind of how the rear looks. It's oh, there we go. Not bad, guys. Really not bad. I'm gonna do my best to show you this, which we're having reflections. This is not the ideal environment, I will tell you. And hopefully you can see, yeah, there is some. With the way that the carbon fiber looks, you know, it has a clear coat on it. It's hard to tell, to be honest with you. It hides it really well. So, also really not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. The previous owner must have had this detailed or taken pretty good care of it. Just, you know, it's just in very good shape. We're just not washed frequently, you know, that reduces it a lot. Okay, so shadow line trim is something that is honestly not that bad on this car, as bad as I thought it would be. So it's this black trim that tends to scratch much easier just because I guess the paint is softer and it's plastic. But hopefully you can see, there we go, yeah. So that, hopefully I can get a lot of that out. And then this has a wrap on it. So I will show you, obviously the hood is wrapped. If you do want to try to check out, they did a full correction, of course, before they put on the X-Bell. There's almost nothing. It's well over 90% from what I've checked it out to be. That was a lot of the car. There will be like a random one, but it's underneath it, so there's nothing I can do anyways. So I don't want to look at it too much because then I'll freak out and want to rip it off. Okay, so let's take another, let's take a walk around here. Something I do want to show you guys. Let's see. Something like these dots. These are rock chips, and what sucks is that I can't do anything with that because that's wrap that is punctured slightly or scraped, and it collects dirt. And I did my very best. I grabbed some toothpicks and cotton swabs, so I'm gonna see if I can get the dirt out of there, but my guess is a lot of them I'm not going to be able to. Here is another example of, come on, please, thank you. This little dot is dirt right under the lip of the wrap. So I'm gonna get a toothpick and try to get that out. This is a regular rock chip, so that kind of sucks. And I do not have, well, I do have touch-up paint. I don't think I'm gonna do it though. So anyways, dirt accumulates under the wrap here. This is probably the most annoying spot. I'm gonna grab a toothpick and try to get that as well. If you guys haven't seen this is the worst dent. Really the only dent in the car, actually, besides that little scrape over there on the wrap, which is really only on the wrap itself, not the paint. So I'm hoping, since that's a fairly easy spot to get, I will eventually be able to get that out. I'm honestly waiting for something else to happen because the guys don't normally come out unless you have a few of them to remove. So I'm gonna try to just hang on and not do anything with that dent right now. And then the back is kind of the same case. You know, I got almost all of the contaminants and embedded dirt. You know, this is a scrape. This is honestly scraped, and then this as well, which sucks. But you know, it's behind the plate, and then there's a bracket here. So in a way, it's unavoidable, but you know, it happens. And let's see if I can get, the light is okay. I mean, it could definitely use some polish, so I'm gonna try to polish the rear lights. The headlights do have X-Ball on them, so I'm not gonna touch them. And there's a little bit of water in there too. So what's nice, oh look, we have a little visitor, guys. Kitty, kitty. Okay, all right. Oh, that was zoomed in a little, sorry. Okay, so did the full decontamination. It's been a long day, but it has been very successful so far. The wrap definitely is cheating pretty much. So I'm gonna grab a toothpick and see if I can get any last spots. And then if I have enough light and patience, I'm gonna tape off the car because I'm gonna tape off, like this has no wrap on it, but this does. So I'm gonna put just a tape line here because in case the polisher comes over, I don't wanna grab the wrap. That's the absolute last thing I wanna do. I don't know, I've been doing a lot of searching. No one has really said how to correct paint that has a wrap on it. And what I mean by that is correct the rear and not touch the rest of it. I know it's very self-explanatory, but as far as taping and prepping, no one has really talked about that. So at least not in depth enough for me. So anyways, if you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know, because for next time or any other car, if I decide to do another car or something like that, I'll have an idea. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be as very careful as I can. I do have a 5-inch pad, which is good for, you know, the hood, not the hood, the roof and the rear, but the spoiler and a bunch of other areas is really not that great. I couldn't justify spending money on another piece of equipment right now. So I'm gonna work with what I got, and we're gonna do some finishing prepping, and we're gonna pull the car in the garage. Hopefully any water that's on it. What's nice about doing this in the evening the night before is all the water is usually, you know, dried and dripped off. There's not anything sitting on it. It gives it time to sort of air out, and then be able to start fresh with the correction tomorrow morning. All right. So there's dirt right here. I don't know if this is even gonna do anything. I don't think it's going to. Not really, okay. I'm just gonna be very, very careful. But at least if I get any visible dirt off now, and then when I put the coating, I'll just put it over the edge so no more gets in there. And I am peeling this up just a little bit, which is dangerous because I don't want it to start peeling more. But hopefully the coating will help. Yeah. I just have to do it very gently. I don't know what normal detailers do. I don't know what you're supposed to do in this situation. Toothpick is really the last resort here. So that is better. I still freaking hate it. Freaking hate it. You can see it, and then once I coat it, it's gonna be in there forever, pretty much. So here's something that I didn't really think I was gonna do, but I am now, is take the Q-tip, and I'm going along the edge of the wrap. Once I get a coating on here, I don't want to seal in any dirt. So this actually won't take more than like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, that edge sucks. But I'm just going to go along the edge. Just kind of get any dirt that I can get, because I don't want to lock it in there. That way. Oh, here's a nice surprise. manual mirrors. How about that? Weight savings. All right, done with the Q-tip situation here. I know it sounds a little crazy, but might as well get all the dirt out of those little edges if you can. I got some tape from CarPro. I made a huge order, guys. That's why I have so much CarPro stuff right now. This is like, I don't know, an inch or more. And then this is, I believe, a 1/4 inch. And then I have these two guys, which are 3M tape. And you can use the blue tape, but the only thing about the blue painter's tape is that apparently it has like a little coating on it. And if you get the polisher on there, I mean, people say that, you know, it's gonna affect your correction or your polishing, whatever you happen to be doing. So since I'm doing such a little area, there's a bunch of little kids riding their bikes like crazy right now. Oh my God. Okay, so if you're doing the whole car, I can understand doing blue tape on just those small areas because it's much cheaper. This stuff starts to add up. So I'm just really doing the roof and the rear. So I have plenty of tape and it's not gonna be a huge cost to do it that way. So tonight I'm gonna tape it off. It's really like almost all the way dry right now, so I don't think the tape's gonna come up. And it's good temperature outside. I think it'll be fine. And then tomorrow we are going to start the correction on the roof and the rear. So let's get to taping. So I know it sounds really simple, but you know, I want to protect the X-Bell, and having tape over the crack definitely helps for when the polish is dusting or anything like that. So just getting it on there does help the procedure. It does save time in the long run. Let's see here. And what I will be doing, can you even see me? Probably not. You can never freaking see me, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, as the motorcycle drives by, I'm gonna be taping the spoiler because I'm gonna be correcting this first, and I don't want the polisher to hit this and scuff this, because I have a feeling that this spoiler is definitely weaker. Not the fact that it's gonna fall off, but the paint on it, the clear coat on it, I can only assume is much softer than here. So the last thing I want to do is mar it up. So I think it's time to bring in the big guns here and just do this. And then after I'm done doing this, I'll put a piece of tape on the paint and then correct this real quick. So that's going to be the plan. I will show you once I do that. Detailing is sort of improv, guys. I noticed that there's some dirt along this ledge, and I need to get it out. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. There we go. And normally I'm not this like OCD. Like I kind of am. Some of you guys make fun of me, like, hey, I just rinsed my car off. That's all I'm gonna do. But doing a full correction here, so it has to be perfect. Man, the nightlife is booming here in Columbus. I do have a life, if you guys are wondering. Tonight is a me night, tonight is a relaxing night, tonight is me doing my thing, being in my zone here. Probably be doing some fun stuff. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I'll find something fun to do, probably car related, but tonight is definitely me and my probably the least sexy part of detailing is taping shit off, but it's a necessity. And I would say a good tip is to try to use as long as a piece as you can. That way when you rip it off, it's much easier. Alright guys, so I'm finally done with the prep. Last step before we do the correction. It's a different prep every time you do a different car. So I'm gonna bring you around and give you a couple of my thoughts on why I taped off some areas and maybe why I didn't. And then we're gonna call it a night and start fresh in the morning early tomorrow with the correction, and we'll go from there. So let me show you around the car. Okay, so keep in mind guys that this is I'm only gonna be correcting the roof and the rear. I probably said it a million times. And the issue is that I don't want to touch with the polisher any of the wrap, because the car is wrapped to here. So I'm going to be correcting this but not this. So I put a piece of tape here in case the polisher, when it goes to the edge, because there's throw on it, it's going to be throwing all the way and then it's going to potentially touch here. I masked this off temporarily, so when I correct here I'll have this masked off, and then vice versa. I'll probably put a strip of tape down here just in case, depending on how I feel polishing wise. If you have a 3-inch polisher or a nano hybrid by Roops, it's probably fine there, but I want to take extra precaution. The last thing I want to do is make something worse. Alright, so sorry I got interrupted. Neighbors going in and out. I actually just met the owner of this car, Audi A5. Looks stock except for the window tinting, I guess. Not in that bad of shape, but you know my standards. So all right, we're gonna walk around. It's dark, but we're gonna work with what we got here, taping wise, and we're gonna start fresh tomorrow. All right, emblems are done, just in case I touch it. And right here, what I'm gonna try to do with the polisher is just kind of put the edge and try to get this area. I'm just working with what I got, which is kind of the main theme on detailing. Do your very best given your materials and everything like that. Tape right here on the rubber, correcting here. Got the edge right here, of course, because that is not only the edge of the X-Pel, but it's the edge of the paint that I don't want to touch. Front here, so anything that's plastic, I got, you know, along all around here, because this is wrapped. I'm not correcting this, but I'm gonna try to do some shadow line if I can. We'll see. I might not even end up touching it because the polisher might just be too crazy. I'll try to very light polish, low speeds. It'll do something better than nothing. I just wish I had a smaller one. I just, like I said, can't justify to get it right now. And then this trim should be doable because it is thicker here. You know, as you can see, it thins out a little bit, but and don't forget around these edges, because when you're bringing the polisher, you're leaning over and it can easily just hit that. This edge, don't want to touch that with the polisher. I think I already said that. And then that's it pretty much. Same thing on this side. Okay, I've laid this out for tomorrow's project. C-Quartz UK. The only difference that I understand between that and the non-UK version is that the C-Quartz UK holds up better in colder environment and applying in colder environments as well. Otherwise, it's almost exactly the same from what I understand. So I just went with that version because it obviously does get colder in Ohio. This is the C-Quartz Deluxe plastic and wheels. I will not be using it on the wheels yet. Hopefully in the future, if I can, I will, but you can use it on plastic and rubber. So I'm going to be using it. I wanted to get Geon trim because I've heard that that's extremely popular, but I made a huge order to CarPro. I had a really good discount and it was easier just to do one big order from one place. So we're gonna go and do that on the trim, like between the windows and the paint and, you know, the rubber trim, that the logo getting in the car. I'll show you guys. And then this, which I'm so excited for, is a flyby for the windshield. It's supposed to last over a year. It's the longest lasting one that CarPro makes. And I'm just super pumped for this because this is honestly the nicest, nicest professional grade window coating that they have. Applicators, non-lint towels from CarPro. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm starting to feel beat. What time is it even? So I started at pretty much 6, give or take, and it's 9:30. So 3.5 hours in. I'd like to do less than 10 hours tomorrow. I think since I did all the prep work tonight. Two-step correction, I think. I would like to do a one-step with, you guys might have seen this. This is a CarPro product. I didn't buy this recently. I've had this. This is CarPro Essence. It's a great one-step. It has some fillers in it. And this is perfect for doing a coating on top because it does have hydrophobic capabilities. So that's nice. But I think since we're striving for perfection, I might be doing a few different Menzerna cutting compounds first, because this paint is fairly hard. It's hard enough that, I mean, I'm only doing the roof and the rear, so how lazy can I be? I'm not that lazy. So that's the plan for tomorrow. I hope that I remembered to honestly say everything. I'm gonna check my notes here. And I will, by the way, I just put a note in here, and I have it on Instagram. Can you guys even see that? Yeah, so this is for me, you know, I try to organize things, you know, I'm thinking about or I'm at work and I'm just thinking, all right, what am I gonna do after this? Get distracted at work thinking about detailing. So you just make a list and then I'll forget about it because I feel better about it. So this list, I'm pretty sure, I'll just copy and paste it in the description of every video so you guys know the process and you guys know the products, and a couple just quick little informational things like how many ounces of soap did I use, and then what is each product name and stuff like that, and maybe a link to where you'd want to buy it. So I'll probably do that because that makes it easier, but I do want you guys to watch the video because I'm going to be explaining everything there. So instead of doing a blog or writing it out in this huge paragraph, you know, that's why I'm doing the video, so you can see what I'm doing and how I did it. And keep in mind, you know, I'm just kind of a weekend warrior here. Anything I say, you know, make sure you don't use me as your only form of research. There's plenty of other people that are doing, you know, great work out there, especially the professional sites, even just Detailed Image or Esoteric or all kinds of, you know, professional sites that do it for as a business. So that's really probably the most reliable source. And then there's guys like me who are weekend warriors who just love it. And honestly, I have no bias. I really don't care. I love Adams, I love CarPro, and you know, Gris Garage has a bunch of great stuff too. So I think I'm gonna stop droning on and on. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Everyone's been asking for detailing stuff, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna start strong. And also I'm getting my Jeep tinted tomorrow, so that video will be coming soon for all you guys who are asking for Jeep stuff. I've been thinking about doing more because I've had a handful of people ask and complain and say, oh, people do care about it, but every time I do a video, it doesn't even get 1,000 views, and everything else gets 1,000 or well over that, you know, depending on what I'm talking about. So lots of M3 correction and perfection, hopefully for the summer. It's going to be perfect timing. I'll get the coating on, and you know, the coating will hopefully last a year. And I got CarPro reset to I don't even know where it is, but I'll show you that whole process. I don't want to get distracted again. I keep talking, but that's the point of these videos, is I want to drone on and I want to tell you exactly all my thoughts. And the lighting in here actually isn't too bad. So early tomorrow, I will see you guys then. Like the video, comment below if I forgot anything, or if you want some additional details in the description of the videos. I will definitely try to keep it consistent. Put information on my website. So I do have a website that I have like detailing information. Like I have a picture of this, I have a link to where to buy it, and then I have like a quick little like 4 or 5 sentences on when I use it, why I like it, and what I think about it, or something like that. So if there's something that I didn't really mention, that's the place to go. Otherwise, hit me up Instagram. That's a good way. If I have time and it's a good question, I'll try to answer it. And that is it. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching till the end, I truly appreciate it. I hope you're here to learn. I hope you're here to have some fun. And tomorrow is going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. Correction is going to be done. Coating is going to be done. Trim is going to be done. Everything's going to be done. The windshield is going to be done. So we're going to dial this thing in. I'm going to be pumped. It's gonna look great. watch out. See ya.